for we are one, and Spirit is the one we know and accept. For it is here within us that we grow in that understanding of love. Spirit, as I continue my path of the spiritual, I effect a change that is in me, with me, and through me. That as I treat myself, I grow with the understanding of peace and friendship and love that could only come from Spirit and of Spirit. And as I continue this journey, I know that Spirit is with me and through me as my life continues on this wondrous life. For I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you for all there is, for the beauty, goodness, and love of this place, of my life, of this world, and know that I continue the path that has been wondrous and great. I release this treatment to Spirit, knowing it is so, that Spirit continues to guide me. And as I treat myself in beauty, laughter, and calmness, I know that it is with me and of Spirit that guides me. And for all this I say, for all, so it is. And now I want to introduce Reverend Reverend Judith, who will speak about the way you treat yourself.
Good morning. So how do you treat yourself? Do you treat yourself as an individualization of the one God, as a divine representation here on earth? Or do you treat yourself the way you were treated as a kid? Maybe who didn't have much value or worth and was just sort of in the way. You know, we learn to treat ourselves by how we were treated as little bitty children. So were you treated when your parent or parents saw you come in the room, did their eyes light up, and did they act like just seeing your presence was a gift? Many of you did. And if you did so, you still carry with you a sense of self-worth that allows you to treat yourself divinely, as if you're worth something. And many of you did not. And so those of you who did not are overcoming that idea of yourself that you got from just the reflection in your parents' eyes. And you need to learn, and as you come into these ideas, that you are a divine representation here on earth. You are worth treating well. Then you learn habits of treating yourself better. And I was fortunate enough that I did have parents whose eyes lit up when I came in the room. And I'm very fortunate in that regard. And yet I still learned habits and ideas that kept me from treating myself well. The biggest thing I've had to overcome in my lifetime is this sense of being driven to work more, to accomplish more, to do more. Because my parents were children of the Depression, and as children of the Depression, the biggest God in our household was work, hard work, and that's what was valued. So my father we called the human dynamo, and he worked all the time, day and night, till his death. Untimely death, I might add, at 68. And, he at that time, at 68, he was working full-time, and he would still come home and work till midnight, rebuilding cars or something like that. Not for pleasure, mind you, to sell, to make more money. And so, we didn't do that message. Anybody have cell phones they need to turn off? Okay. So while he was much loved by everyone, and I got to witness that at his funeral, how loved he was by his coworkers. So often we would, as children, would just have loved it if he would have taken some time off the work to play with us a little bit. You know, to take those vacations that we never took, that we always talked about. We got to grow up in Venezuela where he worked in an oil refinery. But you know what he would do? He would send us, my mother and the 3 girls, for this week-long cruise in the Caribbean while he would fly so he could work, you know, just could not give himself that week vacation to just relax. And so when I met Reverend Bob over 20 years ago and we started courting, and we were actually married just a few months after we started dating, he noticed that on Saturdays it was just another day of work. We worked very hard during the week. And Saturday was my day to do the work at home that I hadn't been able to do during the week because I was working. Women will particularly relate to that. It was a day to wash windows and work hard. And he said, can't we take a day of rest? Can't we go play a little bit? And I said, what would that look like? He said, well, we used to do that. We'd go for drives in the park, or we would go camping, or we would go here and there. And I said, okay, but when do we do this housework part? And he said, well, we can work that in. We really can get that in. I said, fine. But, you know, it wasn't in my pattern of things to do. And yesterday I gave myself the gift of going on the peace hike, which was wonderful. There's nothing that I love more than to be in nature. But I had to get to that point and say, yes, you are allowed, you can, because there's still so much work to be done at home. We're still moving in, and I haven't done any play in at least 2 months because, you know, there's the packing and the preparing and all that work to do. So, you know, learning how to treat yourself is learning that to give yourself a day off, to let yourself play, to let yourself have some fun. That's called balance. Have some balance in your life. But many of us have been taught that it's either not okay or it's selfish. You know, we need to be doing for others, not for ourselves. And I'd like you to dispel that idea, if you have it at all, that doing for yourself is selfish, because we're all one. And whatever you do for you, you're doing for the world. And whatever you do for others, you're also doing for yourself.